Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
I was reading or seeing that they're maybe looking at Ken Dorsey, and my question for that is why? Wasn't he fired midway through the season because his offense was so stagnant? So why would you bring that person in as an offensive coordinator? Why don't you go to somebody who's having an up-and-coming career, not somebody who was either fired or they took the play calling duties from him because he was so stagnant? And another thing is, we should bring Kareem Hunt back and move on from Jerome Ford. He had, 2 or 3 big runs, but yet it looked like he tiptoed through the line and was scared to get hit. I think Kareem Hunt's a much better back. Just my opinion. Go Browns. Woo-hoo.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Scott, we kind of showed a little bit earlier what Ken Dorsey had done. Everything's kind of situation dependent. Relative to Kareem Hunt, I think he's just he's not nearly as explosive as he was. Really good guy, short yardage, but he made it sound like he's kind of looking around, and we'll see. I'd be surprised if he comes back.
Yeah, the Dorsey thing, just real quick. Coaches get fired, right? It happens. Brian Daboll bounced around, right? Like, that happens. I get it. I get that that's the most recent thing with him, and if you want to start fresh, that's fine. But he's a young guy. He's a young coach. I think he's got a bright future, so I don't know if I would let that determine whether or not I hired him. And as far as the running backs, the Browns like Jerome Ford a lot. I don't know if they think he's a number one back, right? And that's a question because we don't know, when Nick Chubb comes back, what Nick Chubb will be like. I think they need to add to that room. But they think he's got a big upside. They think he can go the distance. They think he's a strong running back. Now, I get the caller's point. Like, there were times where I felt he was too hesitant. And there was a lot of those kind of wide runs where he just kept going sideline, instead of putting a foot in the ground and getting upfield. And instead of it being a no gain or a 1 yard gain, it'd be a 5 yard loss. And there were too many of those. I thought he was better against the Jets. I thought he really ran hard against the Jets, as hard as I remember seeing him run. But I think, he's still young, second year. He only had 8 carries as a rookie. So I think it's premature to give up on Jerome Ford. And the things you don't like about Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt has, right? He runs really hard. He usually finds a crease. He just doesn't have the burst that he used to, like you said, Dave. So, I have no doubt Jerome Ford will be here. I would doubt that Kareem Hunt is, just because he's looking, and, I don't know if the Browns feel like he's a fit when they reconstruct this running back room.